Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Teardrop, turn 7 as the Empire of Japan. When last we left off, we still had a decent-sized air force. Unfortunately, that has been destroyed over with the USSR capture of Rihi. This is the last turn for cavalry purchases, so we're going to purchase 5 as Japan, with 3 infantry, 2 marines, 2 militia. And let's grab some text. So we're going to say fine to the cult of heavy armor and roll for some heavy armor. Success on both long-range aircraft and heavy armor. So, that is something to be happy about. Despite our other failings, we seem to be having a pretty good Japanese research game. How many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes for, I guess, 15 rolls now. That's pretty good. We are going to make some combat moves and declare some combats. So this torpedo boat destroyer of the Soviets is going to be screened by a destroyer, light cruiser, a TBD, some subs, and that screening should allow for this destroyer to go 1, 2, 3 with the fleet. We're going to be picking up all 4 of these Japanese Marines with these 4 destroyers. We're going to be picking up all 7 of these other ground units with 4 of these 5 transports. One of these transports is going to move 1, 2, 3 to join the others. In doing so, picking up this Siamese infantryman to complete a set of 4 full transports. Seems we are joined by Mafoy. Let me get him in the Discord. Alrighty. And if he joins in, that'll be great. If not, that is fine. We're moving this fleet here, the 97th, here to Nanking. This infantry will be grabbed by the 5th transport that's here, moved 1, 2, 3, dropping off 1 in Shantung, moving a marine into there. Dropping off this other with the 97th. I may as well grab these to stick them over there for the inevitable fall of Nanking to the Japanese. We're also moving a couple of these ships out and about. The bombers to help here. We will be bombarding with a heavy cruiser from here and all the other cruisers and battleships in the battle in Nanking. They can all battle that out. We'll ping the foy once more. We'll see if he joins voice chat or not. But these, I thought I might have to, I guess it's been a while since I came back to the Teardrop game, but I thought I might have to map these subs in order to go pick up that infantry in Siam. However, after Japan attacked, and the Dutch were at war against the Japanese, the Dutch were then aligned to Britain and therefore are no longer at war against the Japanese because the Germans took out the Netherlands. So they do not pose a threat. The threat posed, and we'll move this seaplane here just as safeguard to any trouble that may arise from this torpedo boat destroyer, but 5 boats and a seaplane are more than enough, I believe, to satisfy that. Remember, the heavy cruiser here and these 2 warships mean that in total both sea zones are being blockaded, and following the victory of the Japanese in Shandong province, we will actually have Nanking completely under siege, completely surrounded, and all of those defenders will be at a -1, including the fighter, which KMT should never get a fighter. Terrible, terrible idea. But with 1, 2, those should be it. Let's roll here for the battle against the Chinese infantry in Shandong. We'll guess this doesn't super matter. If these are different dice colors, we'll just make it so. So we've got 3 tactical bombers that are deploying, and we've got 2 infantry, 1 marine from overland, 1 infantry from off this transport, while the other infantry goes into Nanking. Versus 1 defender, Chinese infantry. And we'll roll. We've got no hits and no hits and no hit from them, so combat continues. That is triple 1s, or quintuple if you want to be silly about it, against the 12. Shandong province, rather, will fall. And these bombers will land. Alrighty. Let's now move on to... this should have been first, my apologies. So, let's grab a few dice and roll that out. Sneak attacks with submarines at 3, because it's a TBD. It is sunk. There are no shots back. Then we'll go and roll for some... We'll roll for some bombardments here. Let's go with 2 of these for battleships, 1 of these for the battle cruiser, and 4 of these for the 4 heavy cruisers that are all bombarding this guy from the sea zone by Port Arthur into the defense of Nanking. One, 2, 3, 4 hits. So that is going to be 4 deaths. Unfortunate for the Chinese. Seems Mafoy is reacting interestingly to the glorious shots by bombardment of the Imperial Japanese Navy. That makes it quite simple. I guess we'll roll to see what this man defends at. Give him the first shot. That is a 7. That is a miss. That is not looking good for him. Well, we've got multiple things that are shooting at 11 told in this first round. I believe this should be 11. That's 11 infantry or marines on round 1. That's 1 hit, and that's all we needed. This KMT fighter is no more. Alright, so Japan is just walking into a glorious cities that they deserve to walk into. We've got those boys and these boys. This boy is back here. The 97th, we can mosey over here to be a little closer to the theater of war instead of down in the Indian Ocean. Similarly to the Japanese fleet, we can mosey this down so it is closer to the theater of war instead of in the Indian Ocean. For a city that we really would have hoped that they got one or so hits, but unfortunately they did not. And the non-combat moves for Japan do not necessarily exist at this point in time. Everything I believe that Japan has available to move, it has moved. This seaplane was ready to take a hit for the cause. He will go to Formosa. I suppose we can order in a few more of these ships into the line of battle. What seems to be screwing these up? Oh, a Siamese destroyer. Well then. Keep the subs separate, I think. And well, they can all go in port if they wish, aside from the submarines. But there is no need to go into port. The very, very long shot of these KMT cavalry being able... Oh, they're not even able because they cannot blitz. Alright. Well, if they could blitz, they might have a smitherings chance of trying to actually take Nanking back, but they don't. So, we will have them be present and bear witness to the glorious Empire of Japan. I believe this is down. We're up to 27 and 8, so we'll be picking up 35. We'll be placing our units. We have no more recruitment roll for Siam because it is aligned. We had a couple fixes here. Japan did not actually get an infantry to be lend-leased from the U.S. The U.S. had American coastal subs move back. If I've missed anything else... Oh, I believe my thought was we had missed ships getting captured in port by the Republican cavalry here, but unfortunately that is not the case. They die as soon as the Spanish Civil War has concluded. So, that is that. And we will conclude Japan... Oh, I'm going to place units. We will conclude Japan 7 by placing some units. We will rebirth the 41st, I think, here in Tokyo, and give it some cavalry to begin with. The others, we have militia in Hunan, militia in Guangdong, and here in Kyushu we will establish some more battalions of things to come overland into the continent of Asia. That is Japan 7. See you all for UK and France 7 in Operation Teardrop.